So what I'm going to do is I will going to select the wheel. I can even group the wheel, and I will going to place where it belongs to, so I can use as guide this image. And like you can see here, using this particular, if we try to understand how it works, this is the axis, this element is the axis where the wheel should be connected. So here is where the wheel should be connected. So in a side view I can move my wheel and place it exactly where it should be. Oh, sorry, I am aligning to the wrong cylinder. I think is this one. Yeah, sure, it's this one. So like you can see here, right now I have my wheel almost aligned. I can even open the group. Let me see, open the group. Yeah, sure. So here in the left view I can Alt A, select the cylinder, and I can align in Y and X, center. And like you can see here is perfectly aligned in related to this particular object. The other thing I will going to do is I will going to increase the height of this cylinder. Let me see if there's this. Oh, this is an instance of another object, so I will reduce the size. I will disable this. I will make unique the object to allow me to increase the height only for this particular object. So I will go to here, I think is, let me go a little bit more, something like this, and I will increase the radius, not as much because there's a lot. I will decrease something like this. I think it's fair enough. I will decrease a little bit more, something like this. Okay, so right now I have my wheel placed as I want. Maybe it's not a precise, maybe there is another system there that should be useful, but this one gives the main idea of this is the support of the wheel. So I will going to close. Right now I'll come back to my full object, and I will clone this wheel to the back part. As an instance I will move, and again I will place exactly where it should be. This should be exactly the place, this one. So let's move this to this position here, and again I will going to open and make unique. I will make unique my object and increase the height to reach the wheel. So I will increase, and I will increase the radius a little bit more without increasing too much, something like this. I will going to verify which value I give here. I thought this was an instance, but it is not. Let me 43, and I will put exactly the same value here, quite close. Okay, so right now I have the both wheels. Maybe the rear wheel is a little bit separated, right? Like you can see here, all this system is moved a little bit more a part of the vehicle. I will adjust the symmetry here again to the center, and that's it. Let me see. Oh, this symmetry is applied even to another object. So if I modify this one, the other object will affect the symmetry too. Like you can see here, there's a lot of objects there that are sharing the same symmetry. So I will make unique my symmetry. Let me see if I can just apply the symmetry just to this particular object, like you can see here, and I will align more precise. So I think this is good enough. Right now I have my both wheels ready. So now let's continue with the the creation of the turbine and the rest of the vehicle to finish our overall model. This part of the model, this part here, needs something else, because the way this model is connecting to this element, it's quite complex for me because I don't have enough information. But what I'm completely sure is that this object, like you can see here, when I'm seeing the vehicle from this angle, there are a couple of things that are not matching right now. One thing is the size of the lamps. Like you can see here, these lamps looks more wider and shorter, so I have to adjust the proportion. Another thing that is missing to finish this part is this object. So here there should be an object that is the connection between all these pieces and the body of the vehicle. So this part needs to be done before continue to the all other elements. I'm not completely sure exactly how it is or how it's working, but I will going to create something basic as before. I will create just a rectangle, and with this rectangle I will turn on the corners, something like this, and this is more or less what I want. I'm going to extrude. Looks something like this. It looks something like this. Like I said before, I'm not completely sure how this will work with the other object. So having this in mind, I will going to create right now. I will adjust a little bit the corner radius to have almost a complete I have to modify the corner radius. Okay, now this is good. What I'm going to do is I will going to create, and again this time I will not going to use a boolean. I will going to make the modification using shapes. So for example, I will going to create a circle, and I will align first. I will going to align this circle to this object to have exactly in the middle. Later I will move it manually to the other side. Later I will do the same to this other place as copy, and I will going to convert this object, this rectangle, I will going to convert to spline to attach both lines you have using here, and then when I apply the extrusion I will have the result I want. This is something that I missed because I have moved the line to another position, so I need to place all these lines completely in the same place to avoid this particular issue. So like you can see here, this is what I have. I think this is more or less how it should work. I mean, this should connect one part of the object to these other other pieces. So I think this is it. I will going to create inside, I will going to create this particular element. I'm not sure what else is there. I will take a look if there is something, another image. This one is better. Now you can see here there are one, two, and I think there are three circles. I'm not sure, not completely sure, but I think this is how it's working. So if there are three circles, the idea of not using boolean is about exactly this part, because this way I have more control about how I want to modify the things, and if I want to make any modification I don't have to repeat the boolean or thing like that. Okay, so I think this is more or less how it should looks. There are two of those holes, and the third one is the one that is linked to this element. Okay, I think this is it. Else than that, I will going to continue using the circle. I just to continue with this workflow. I create the circle, align it. Later I will move manually, and I will convert to editable spline. Having this converted into editable spline, I can shift to clone, and I can create a rectangle to make a boolean. Right now I will going to isolate them to keep things easy. I will going to assign in the middle, and I will going to attach both elements. What I can do right now is that I can make a boolean operation between all these parts. So the first thing, I will go into boolean. For example, if I make a boolean of this object, I will going to subtract this object, something like this, and later I will going to subtract the interior object. Select this one. I can subtract this one, but I need a copy of the other of the same cylinder. So I can make a copy. I will make a boolean here. Oh, this one doesn't apply, just for this mirror. So I will clone this particular line. I can, with shift, for example, I can make a clone of this line. I will keep both in the same position. I will make a boolean with one of them, and later I take this one and make a boolean with the other one. So right now this is what I have. As you can see here, and I will going to extrude. There are a lot of ways to do this particular thing, but I just want to try this another one. I can scale it a little bit more. Okay, so this is it. With this line I will going to increase the interpolation to adaptive to have more detail in the line, in the curve. And I think this is all. I don't know if this comes here, but I will put, just to keep everything quite the same. Okay, so right now this is what I want. I made the other side. I always been working on the other side of the vehicle. This time I'm working in this other side because this was the reference I have. I will make another a mirror right now in the Y as instance, and I will move all this to see how should this be placed, this object. I think this will be placed here. And the thing here is that right now there are a couple of views that you can see here, like I have here. So like you can see here, this element is not this way. I mean, it's not exactly this way. It should be something different, but it's not visible at all. So it's quite complex to understand exactly how to deal with this. I will just create a circle, and I will going to create a rectangle. Just to link those parts, I will going to align them and then move it. I think it's something like this, not precise, as all the project is not precise project, but will give us more or less a basic way to see the Batmobile. I will going to attach those lines, and using the vertex in the corners, I can make let's try something like fillet, to have something like this. Is, like I said, it's not precise. Maybe the scale is not the best scale, but I think it will give us basic approximation of what I need. Okay, so let's place this where it should come, extrude, and let's see how it looks. Okay, so I will going to remove this element here. I will select those parts, and as before I will going to move using the axis I want, and this is it. So I will reduce the amount. You can see here there's more or less what I have. Here is a different level here. This is more or less what I have here, a different level, but I'm not completely sure about that. Maybe this is a little bit wider, but I think it looks good. I mean, it looks quite similar to the reference, so yeah, I will keep it this way. Maybe a little bit I will move these parts. We're going to scale them. Okay, I think this looks good. Right now I have the basic solution for this missing part, so I will going to select all of them. Let's unselect what I don't need it. Okay, with all these parts selected, I will going to make a mirror as instance, and I will move all of them. Or I can use the symmetry. I'm not sure right now. Let me take a look. Let's use the symmetry as I did in the other elements. I will use the symmetry in y-axis. I will going to align to this object, and I will going to enable the flip. Yeah, I think it works for what I need. I'm going to hide to delete these other elements. Okay, unhide all. Yeah. So okay, like you can see here right now, I have my more precise solution for the wheels, my more precise solution for the support and things like that.